Fight back. Fight back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in, Stormtroopers, anywhere you might be checking out halftime here, where your Orlando Storm is headed out to Houston to battle the Gamblers. And though a lot of us thought JRP might start today, that is not what's happening here. Decker's getting the nod and somehow keeping the Gamblers alive. BP, I am impressed with the Storm defense. And matter of fact, the argument could be that's entirely why they're at the leading the game right now, 17-13. Your thoughts?
Ooh, this has not been the best defensive stretch here for the last 3 games now, 2.5 counted. Orlando is playing very soft in the secondary again. And I don't know what we're going to have to do. Perhaps they should have had some of that delicious chile colorado I had for dinner tonight for Mother's Day to get a little spice, because even Fox's commentary is saying it too. They're playing too soft. They're giving too much cushion. And Deckers is taking advantage of that. I've lost count of how many slant routes he's hit in this game. I mean, I just cannot say enough about the need for pressure in this situation. Also, the offensive execution has been subpar for Orlando, despite the fact that they have a 17-13 lead. But 7 of those points come off of turnovers, which is a big deal. And also why. You know, on the whole, if you're looking at it from a big picture thing, you know, Jack Plummer finding a wonderfully open Elijah Badger here who drags a man into the end zone. And that was in the first quarter. And that had me on my feet. I'm pretty sure the neighbors heard me yelp on that one, of the string of obscenities that I was cheering, because that was a very good play. But that's about it. They've really not done a whole heap a lot since then. I mean, good play fake. Plummer pumps, sees Badger downfield, freezes up just enough, and then Plummer tossing into Badger. He just does the rest. You know, Badger drags the guy, and, you know, that was a great play, something to be excited about. But other than that, offensively, that's been it. It's not been the greatest performance. 92 total yards for Orlando. Plummer's thrown for 67 yards. It's ugly. Breaking down his attempts right now, he's 7 of 10. So he's completed 70% of his passes, but he ain't done much else with it. The one touchdown to Badger is all she wrote. They've rushed for 40 yards, you know, but they've gotten some sacks. Let's see. Plummer's been sacked twice in this game already, so that's not really good. But on the other side of that, though, look at the defense. Sebastian with a great deflection in the end zone to keep a touchdown off the board. We had Taylor with a helmet on a head, bouncing a ball out, and then Elijah Banks catching the fumble there. And then this guy right here. I mean, DJ James hadn't even been on the team a week. And he says, "Hi, I see the ball coming in my direction. Excuse me, that's mine. I'm out of here." Touchdown Storm. And that made it 14-3 in the second quarter. So, you know, when you're really looking at it from the total package, it's not horrible, but realistically, Houston can take advantage of this in the second half and grind this out. 2 things that Anthony Becht is concerned about right now. 1, his defensive play, and 2, the heat. So I know this seems to be a moot point for many people because they're sitting at home in their air conditioning, but when you're on a football field at field level in pads and helmets, the temperature is a factor. And Houston, smart as they are, put their team in that nice shady spot, which is probably 10 to 15 degrees cooler than where Orlando is right now, who's currently baking in their jerseys. And they've had some issues, and it's been audible on the broadcast about getting water to the team. So Orlando's got to kick their butts in gear here, because it's going to be a war of attrition in the second half. And the way Houston's playing on offense right now, they may turn around and win it unless we get a couple of more turnovers or the offense has got to sustain drives. I'm concerned about the defense's longevity. And remember, Kyle, we talked about this at the very beginning of the season. We asked Anthony Becht this question: what are you going to do about conditioning in the heat now that you're playing in Florida? Well, you're on the road in Houston, and it's hot like Florida. how is your team going to respond to their conditioning and their hydration? I'm waiting to see people start collapsing for cramps, man.
Well,
Not looking good.
You know, you mentioned that defense there for the Storm doing their thing. I know they're sitting back a lot, and credit to Houston's game plan too, right? I see Deckers doing it's 3-second drops, things like that, 3 seconds or less. These are things were coming out quick. The defense has done some little things to adjust, especially our favorite play, perhaps of the game. Certainly on defense outside of the pick six, if not for anybody, Isaiah Bugs dropping back into coverage on a play to make a difference there.
And affecting the outcome of that play too. I mean, big man's in a 3-point stance, and the rabbit stands up, drops back, says, "What's up, Doc?" And I'm here. And it was fabulous. Watching that happen. I wish I had stopped it, rewound it, and played it again. On the Fox One app. That was unreal watching him stand up, the monster, making that huge impact on a play just by standing up and dropping back into coverage. But also credit Taylor, 25 with the just a pop in the shoulder on the football, knocking that loose. I hope he didn't get hurt. He looked like he might have been a little shaken up on the play. But Keyshawn Banks gobbling the football up and getting that turnover in the red zone. That's massive right now. You look at red zone trips. Orlando's had 1 red zone trip. They have not scored. Houston has had 4, but they've only scored once. So, again, red zone defense, important for Orlando, but they also have to do that red zone offense. Time of possession is a little even right now, 15:07 for Houston, 14:53 for Orlando. But, Houston's going to put some feet on the gas right now because they're just flat out playing Orlando offensively. I mean, yeah, they've only rushed for 61 yards, but 232 yards passing. And a lot of those are not big chunk plays, Kyle. They're like 10, 11-yard plays that are moving the sticks. And that's what's going to keep you going. So Orlando has got to turn it around and do the same to keep the Houston offense off the field, but more importantly, keep their defense rested and hydrated so they don't burn out in the half.
Yeah, let's show them something else. That was the biggest thing Orlando had to a chunk play that turned into a Michael Lance 41-yarder by way of our guy Chris Rowland, who was here on the Surge earlier this week here in this particular kick return. That sets up this kick, BP. You got to love the versatility of a guy. We said it was crazy to call him just a receiver, but as he's cutting around and cutting through things, this getting it to the other side of the 50 on his own effort, putting Michael Lance, having him in a position to take a stab from distance to get it to 17 points eventually down the line is a big deal in this game. And I like the fact that they're up by more than a touchdown, BP, but to your point, this won't keep up for you having to rely on the defense to make all of these stops the way that they have.
Yeah, and look at Rowland shedding tackles here. Go back, play that up one more time. But I want to point out Chris Rowland doing this again here. On the kickoff. I mean, what a great return. I mean, the blocking was also fantastic. But look at Rowland's athleticism here, grabbing the ball, takes it up. He's got the great lane. He sees the hole, makes a little cut here, a little shimmy, shakes 1-2 tackles, shakes a third one, and then he gets into the open field. Gets the good angle of pursuit. Great tackle there. He's out about the 32-yard line. But again, Chris Rowland, fantastic kick return. Well blocked by Orlando, but also well evaded by the wily uncle in Chris Rowland there. Our
Wiley Unk, great hip-hop group name. And side note, that third one, sir, do not take respect off that name. That was their broken tackle. He just straight out ran that dude, okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's just
about that.
But the slipperiness and the athleticism from the wily veteran, making those moves and getting that down, inside the 30-yard line, which, yeah, that then set up the Michael Lance field goal again. But that's a drive, though, when you look at the replay of that. And then the result, that's a drive that Orlando has to be in the end zone for. You can't get all the way down there, get that excellent field position, and just sputter. So, gotta put something in the water besides electrolytes at this point. You might need to get a little habanero pepper or something, maybe a shot of tequila or something. Get them going because they need to be in the end zone. They've done it once. Again, Plummer threw an excellent ball to Badger. I mean, that was just a great pass. But it just hasn't been enough. Jayshon Corbin stymied at the line. They're pressing up. All the good things that people say about Orlando, and then they're playing to their strengths and beating them somehow. So we got to stop the bleeding because the way that the standings are rolling right now, before we get to the second half, what a mess down below. And Houston can muck this up and have it's almost a 4-way tie for the 4th spot in the playoffs right now. So this is a must win for Orlando, but also for Houston.
Opportunity to climb up on the Defenders after losing to Louisville.
Yeah. Oh, how about that Louisville DC game? Oh my gosh. We might have to talk. I might have to have a breakdown about that this week. The chaos in the UFL. So, but yeah, we're getting ready to start the 3rd quarter here. And, come on, Storm, put it together. I know you guys can do it. 17-13 at the start of 3. And I hope we have good things to say and maybe a celebratory drink in the post-game report.
You're here to that. So that'll do it for the halftime report. Check us out after the game for BP. This is Kyle Nash, tune to the game. Until post-game, class dismissed.
Fight back. Fight back.